What's up, ninjas? It's Sensei Zane, and in this tutorial we are going to be learning about manipulating our parts to make them bigger, smaller, have different rotations, etc. So in the previous slide you should have learned how to place a part using the part block and placing a more complex part using the drop down arrow, which gives you access to the sphere, wedge, corner wedge, and cylinder. So I'm just going to use a normal part for this tutorial. So I'm going to go over these four options right here, along with anchor, which is over here. So what these do is they allow you to manipulate the placement and size of your block. So starting with the move tool, so you want to make sure your block is selected. We're going to click on move, and this allows you to move your part on both the X, Y, and Z axis. Now, it is important to remember you can move your block around without having the move option selected. As you can see here, I'm on the select option and I'm just dragging it around like crazy. However, the move option is important as it allows you to have more precise movement for your block. So if you're building something and need a block in a very specific place, it's better to use the move option to allow you to put that there easier than trying to drag it into the right position. Alright, next up we are going to check out the scale option. So the scale will allow you to stretch the block on the X, Y, and Z axis, just like the move option. So let's go ahead and just make a gigantic cube, just like that. Alright, next up we have the rotation option. So rotation, just like move and scale, allows you to rotate on the X, Y, and Z axis. Now the last option is the transform option. Now transform is very helpful, as if you're familiar with 3D modeling programs such as Tinkercad, it works in a very similar way. So you can move the item up and down on the Z axis, as you can see here, and you can also scale, and it gives you the number of studs long that the block, or that you're currently manipulating. So for example, right here this is only two studs long. However, out here it is 40 studs long. You can also use it to rotate using the X, Y, and Z axis. Alright, so the last option I want to touch on in this video is the anchor option. So as we can see here, our block is in a pretty crazy spot. So if I was to run the game, our block falls. It doesn't stay in the spot that I want it to. So how do we fix that? That is where anchor comes in. So we want to make sure we have our block selected, and we want to click on the anchor option. Now if I run the game, look at that. Our block is standing just like we want it. Alright,